Hello, welcome back to part 3 where I am documenting what happened in my 21-day habit. And this habit is continuing, but I think it is, the reason that I'm doing it is there is so much research, information, stats that you can look at in your own leisure about doing something for 21 days and it forming a habit. If you haven't seen part 1 and 2, do go back, and I'm going to crack on with my final points today. Things that have helped me, things that can support you as well. Let's go. Okay, keep it interesting. Now, it's difficult sometimes because discipline can be associated with boredom, being rigid, doing the same thing every day. And I am not that person. I've not chosen that for my life, to sit in the same chair every day. I like variety. I like different chats. I like different projects. And so I bring that into my habits. So say I was working on healthy eating, for example. I know there will be some people who are like, I'm just going to eat this same meal for the rest of my life. I think Victoria Beckham said this actually, that she just has fish and vegetables. I think that's all she eats. Great, Victoria, if you can do that, I'm sure you are not having, some scabby fish. I'm sure it's very nice and delicious and beautifully cooked. Great, you do you. But for me, if I'm going to be disciplined, if I'm going to do something regularly, I need variety. So for me, keeping it interesting has been really, really key. Doing things like different routes, different podcasts, different outfits, different times of day sometimes. I did a lunchtime run the other day, hated it, was not for me, but it was really good for the variety, because then when I went back to my morning one the day after, I was like, this is great. This is so much easier than running at lunchtime. So keep it interesting and keep it varied. The next thing, use the timing. Use your time rather. So for me, when I'm using that 15 minutes, even though it's running, now depending on what your habit is, you might not be able to multitask. But for me, I can do other things whilst I run. I can't really phone people, but it's quite early anyway. People don't want me to phone me. But sometimes I use it for visualization. Sometimes I use it to catch up on my coaching call as part of my course that I'm doing. Sometimes I use it to meditate. Sometimes I use it to think about something that no longer serves me and I get rid of that. Sometimes I think about some great new ideas of how I could do things differently. Or sometimes I just look up. I absolutely, and even though I can't do this, get to central London and back, but I really love running in new areas. I mean, all over the country or the world, wherever I am. But I love kind of running outside of my daily streets, essentially. I love that feeling of looking up and being inspired, seeing what's about and keeping it interesting. Measure yourself against yourself and how far you've come. With a habit, it can be so easy to self-sabotage yourself or to look at other runners and go, oh, wow, they look like they're going really fast. Or, oh, that person's overtaken me. And it can be really tempting to say, oh, no, well, you ran a marathon. The thing that I'm doing is just this small 15-minute a day thing. And yes, you may want to approach it in that way, but be really kind to yourself. Notice your progress. Notice what you can do. Notice the changes that you've made. And if you have got to the point where you have done something for 21 days, day 21 is probably going to be very different to day 6 or 7 or day 14. I want you to notice all of those things and just keep measuring yourself against yourself. If you're always doing it against people out there, A, you never know the whole story, and B, it's not helpful. You're a different person, starting and finishing in a different place. Be really kind and supportive to yourself. Notice the strength and the muscle that you are building. Now, hopefully, this will be actual strength and muscle through the running. And yes, I did kind of brush my teeth the other day. I was like, oh, my arm didn't wobble as much. These are the aspirational goals. But for me, it's more than that. It's the muscle of showing up for myself. I think when you have children or you have caring responsibilities, or you're the one at home, or you're all the things to all the people, or it's a busy time for your family, I feel that what you need or desire or require sometimes gets pushed to the side. And even though you might be like, no, my needs are very important, sometimes there's the day just runs away with you. And showing up for myself every day in terms of that muscle and that strength has done so much for me, because it's made me remember that I am important too. Yeah, I am important too. And if I work on myself, and if I really take that care for myself, I can then deliver more. Yes. The habits contribution for the life that you're building. So, yeah, I mean, essentially running every day for 15 minutes, I presume I'm going to become a better runner. I don't know. I might not be. I might stay the same. But I think I'm going to become a better runner. And certainly when I've been changing up my running, so from like my half an hour to, if I just say, right, I'm going to do 15 minutes and I've only got 15 minutes, no walking time, no faffing about, no walking to the end of the road to get going. That's when I get a sprint on, and that's when I say, oh, actually, I'm finding more power in my legs. But also, I'm really looking at where I'm going next. And I know I talk about identity a lot, but this daily habit is contributing to where I'm going. Being the person who does, being the person who shows up for themselves, and essentially being ready. For me as a personal brand, as somebody who has a portfolio career, there is very little wiggle room for a warm-up. People want you, rightly or wrongly, they want you fully formed. They want you to be able to do the job. So if they call you in at 10 to 6 and they want you tomorrow, you have to be able to deliver. And so I've really been looking at all these ways where I can be very sharp in my life and in my day-to-day life. And I'm noticing how it's contributing to the rest of my life. And it's really exciting. It's really exciting. Just because you're doing something different doesn't make it wrong. I mean, I'm not somebody who will go to the school gates and go, guys, I'm doing this. I just thought I should tell everybody. I'm just going to go and speak to the head now because I feel that we should put this on the school newsletter. I'm not doing that. But if people ask me, I will tell them. And quite often I am wearing my running kit because I'm going to run home after dropping the children off at school. And sometimes people might think what you're doing is bizarre, whether that's starting a business, the way that you parent your children, the foods that you eat, what you like to do of the weekend or not like to do. And some people will tell you that you are strange and different and that you're an exception to the rule, or you're a bit peculiar. It's okay. I'm okay with all of that. Truly, I am completely fine. And I guess I can say that now because there have been so many situations over the years where I've tried to squeeze myself into situations that do not serve me. And I have evidence of that. Like, no, but do you remember, this is me talking to myself, do you remember when you like veered off the path and you weren't happy then either? So just do the things that work for you and it's all good. It's all good. Keep it light. Keep it light. If I added like heaviness into the habit of like, I'm doing this every day for the rest of my life. I've recently read The Power of One More by Ed Milet, and he talks about simply doing the power of one more. So I'm keeping it light. I'm not saying, oh my goodness, I've got to do this for the rest of my life. But if I can do it today, great. Another day has gone by. Brilliant. And that has really helped me to keep that lightness, that brightness, that fun. Like, oh my goodness, I'm doing this thing. I'm a 42-year-old woman running around North London, talking to herself, keeping it light. It's really game-changing, and it affects the way that you approach it. Finally, I can do this, and that feels quite bizarre admitting that to you. And again, you might be like, all right, you're not saving the world, like you're running for 15 minutes every day. But there have been so many habits that I've tried and I've failed at. And there will probably be many others in the future. But this I have done for 21 days tomorrow. But today, if you're watching it then, I will have done it. You're in the future. And I feel really proud of myself. And what it has given me and where I want to leave it today. And this is exactly what I said to Matt this morning. I have proved to myself that I can do this. I can do this. I am somebody who is doing this. It's a continuation. It's a process. And I then had that cheeky thought of, if I can do this, what else can I do? And that is a great place to be as you go into the new year, because this year has been hardcore. As I mentioned, it's been a resetting year. It's felt really hard and difficult and emotional and challenging at times. But yet to finish the year in this way of let's go, let's do this, opening up again, opening up to possibility, that's really exciting. And I think for so many of us, because the world can feel heavy and we're here, there and everywhere, and everyone and everything is needing so much of us, we can get squished a little bit and we can shrink. And now is not the time to shrink. For you, for me, for everybody. Truly, it's not. And these small habits that are easy to do and easy not to do, that is David Brailsford, by the way, just to credit him for that. These marginal gains that are easy to do and easy not to do, if you do them, they will have a profound effect on the way that you feel about yourself, what is possible for you, and where you go next. I hope you've enjoyed this. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you're working on. And I hope today this has given you I've been talking about this thing for a long, long time. It's not going to happen automatically. It's not. You have to metaphorically put on your trainers and do something and commit and say, are you in? Or are you out? If you're out, no worries. Choose something else. Do something easier. I know that I would. I've had that thought so many times of like, do I really need to work for myself? Could I not just go? I mean, I like working with children. No, it's not the thing. It's not what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be doing this, but I'm also supposed to be learning from all of the hard bits too. I hope that's been useful. Please share, please like, subscribe, all of that good stuff. And let me know what you're going to do, what you're going to take away. I would love to hear it. I'll keep you posted. Day 21 and onwards. See you soon. Bye.